We are meant to be well, people. We are meant to be well. Our bodies are so wise and have evolved over thousands and thousands of years for us to live with energy and vitality. And when we support our bodies in removing the density that this modern world brings to us, our bodies will and do work the way that they're supposed to. Today, I'm looking at the conversations that I've had over literally just the last week, not even a week, 5 days. And this is a call for us to take on responsibility for and power for our own health. The answers we are getting are not real answers in a lot of respects. And so it's up to us to go and research and remember the ways that people have lived for thousands of years that kept us well, kept us procreating, kept us growing as a species. Listen to this. I literally wrote these things down because these are conversations that I've had in the last 5 days. 43-year-old woman dealing with hair loss, went to her doctor in the EU and said her iron was low and nothing else, and to supplement iron. She's been doing that for a while and it's not resolving her hair loss and fatigue. 45-year-old woman, fatigue, irritable, lots of inflammation. She never had these symptoms until the last 2 years, and they just came on super strong, and it's debilitating her life. Super heavy periods, which she never had before that. Her doctor said that she was anemic, so she's supplementing iron, D3, and B12. 41-year-old woman, super heavy periods, got a hormone IUD, so that she now has no periods and doesn't know where she is in her cycle. 40-year-old woman with Hashimoto's. She's trying to get pregnant and has had trouble with getting pregnant. I read an article by a friend of a friend, 36-year-old woman. She went to Korea to have tests done because she had regular checkups and was having, was going to her doctor in the US, found nothing, said she was fine, wasn't feeling well. They found a 10-centimeter size fibroid in her. It's not just the women. A 41-year-old man with high cholesterol, another 39-year-old man with rashes on his body, which look like kind of permanent rashes. I'm pretty positive they're heavy metals, probably heavy metals and parasites. There's something going on here. There's something going on here. And our doctors, every single one of those women that I spoke to, yes, their doctors were able to point to something like low iron, for instance. Heavy periods just said that's normal, or go on birth control to control your periods. And all of them said that they left feeling like they didn't get actual answers to what was going on in their body or actual solutions that are making them feel better. So it's up to us. It's up to us. Hair loss, fatigue, heavy periods, irritation, anxiety. I think these, all of the women, especially over 40 that I'm talking to, are having some of these issues. And it's like, I just kind of know, say one little thing about what I'm going through, and they're like, oh yeah, here's all my problems. Went to my doctor, told me I was fine. It's the same story over and over again. We're going to figure it out together. We're going to figure it out together. So I'm just going to go over some of the things that I see that I think, and also have read and done research. Some of these things are, it depends on how much of a confirmation that you need. I get that each person needs to go and research on their own, but here are the things that this is pointing to for me that I think all, especially, let's just talk about women and the fatigue, hair loss, heavy and very painful periods. Our bodies are not meant to feel this way. Okay, I think, so if we look at kind of the phases of cleansing out our bodies and purifying our bodies and unblocking our bodies. The first is removing toxins from our environment. So I'm looking at, where do I have plastics in my life? I've gotten rid of pretty much everything in my kitchen that might have, Teflon or, nonstick stuff in the kitchen, plastic cutting boards, plastic utensils. I'm going through piece by piece. Like whenever I buy a new piece of clothing, I really try and buy stuff that doesn't have plastic in it. That's like a huge one. And I know it's not as easy to buy all, natural fiber clothes, but I'm doing that kind of step by step. Chemical products. So I've pretty much stopped using all things on my body because, our skin is our largest organ. We absorb whatever we put on our skin. And especially for women, we use makeup products and scents and oils and lotions. So I use just organic, extra virgin coconut oil instead of lotion. I use a brand called Aromazone. If you're in Europe, they definitely ship to where you are. In the US, there's EWG is an app that you can get that talks about how toxic products are. Not using bleach or the spray stuff that you get at the store for cleaning my house. Usually I just use vinegar, or you can put essential oils. In vinegar, I have some lavender essential oil, so vinegar with water, and that, or lemon is a really good cleaner as well. Baking soda, I use baking soda, that's really good for cleaning your tub and stuff. Just use baking soda or washing soda. I make my own laundry detergent, which I get is, it's a couple extra steps or whatever, but if you don't want to make your own laundry detergent, you can buy ones online, at least that are fragrance free. Fragrance disrupts our hormones, and I think that's, certainly causing things for us like, I think, mineral depletion, probably, like iron, and certainly, heavy periods and any kind of menstrual stuff that you might be dealing with. Birth control, I think. So what happens with birth control is that it tells our bodies, so whether you're taking it for, not to get pregnant, or for, acne, or to have less heavy periods, it's telling our body that our body doesn't need to make so many of those hormones because we're giving hormones to our bodies. And the menstrual cycle is a natural cleansing process. We're cleansing out things in our body. So if we're having heavy periods, to me, that signals that we have things that our body really needs to get rid of, is trying to get rid of, and maybe is having a hard time with how dense those, toxins and artificial hormones and fragrances, etc., are. It's having a hard time to clean those things out. So birth control, I had a copper IUD for 5 years. It was the hardest years of my life. I didn't even consider that it might be the IUD. Hardest years of my life as far as just I was going through a lot of emotional stuff. And I was going through a lot of emotional stuff anyways, but I really think now that the IUD had a lot to do with it. And when I got the IUD out, now this is a copper IUD, so that copper is a metal. It works with your minerals, and actually it directly impacts iron absorption. So there's I don't know the specifics of it, but there's a direct correlation between iron absorption and copper levels in the body. So I had literally a piece of copper in my body, in the most sensitive parts of my body, which are extremely absorbent as well. Like our vaginal canal is extremely absorbent. I got that IUD out, and my symptoms vanished within a week. So I'm not saying 100% that it was the IUD, but it certainly didn't help Then recently after years of not having an IUD or using any kind of hormonal birth control or anything, I got an IUD again. I had it in for 3 months. I progressively over those 3 months got like fear, sadness, depression, and I got it out and I literally felt better within like 48 hours. So, causation, correlation. And then I think another huge thing, especially for women, is the chemicals that are in our lady products. So tampons and pads, especially the like regular like Tampax and stuff, they have fragrances in them, which are hormone disruptors. We're literally putting it in like the most sensitive part of our body. They have fragrances, bleach. They use bleach on the cotton. Pesticides. The cotton is grown with pesticides. Yeah, and all of those things are going into our, most delicate places. So you think, 200 million women in the world plus have endometriosis, heavy periods. I literally talked to a woman recently who faints because the pain is so bad when she has her periods. And this has been going on for her for decades. Like she has like blacked out and gotten a black eye and stuff from, etc., from passing out because of how painful and heavy her periods are. So the products that are in tampons and pads, especially, if you buy like a whatever version at the grocery store or whatever, have a lot of things that our body cannot handle. They're toxic. So now there's a whole bunch of organic cotton, non-fragranced, all of those things, products that you can buy online at Whole Foods. I think they probably have them. I've bought them at CVS before, I'm pretty sure. You want to look for the GOTS certification or ICEA certification. These are basically saying that they don't have all those, pesticides and everything else in them. I think that is a huge one for us. Like if there's anything we can do right now, it's throw away the pesticide bleach filled tampons and pads. I haven't done much research on the cups as far as like, I know they say that the plastics or whatever that they use are okay for the body. I don't know. It's plastic, right? Or silicone, and silicone's not a natural thing. So if you're fine with using a tampon or a pad, or I use period panties now, and you want to look for the period panties that are cotton, that aren't made out of synthetic fibers. I think that supports my body in just releasing everything that it needs to. Of course, when I go to the beach or I'm out for a long day or something, I'll wear a tampon. But so those are like huge things for removing toxins from our environments. Any kind of fragrances are like, let's just stop using them. And then supporting our bodies by moving, sweating, hydrating. You can buy seawater online, which is really good for helping to flush these things out of our system. So again, thinking about this framework of, okay, let's not put so many toxins into our bodies. Then let's do what we can to move out the ones that are in our bodies. And if you haven't seen the microplastic, what's it called? The Plastics Revolution on Netflix. It's a documentary. They talk about plastics that we're consuming, and they do a test over 3 months with families, people who are trying to get pregnant, who have had fertility issues, difficulty getting pregnant. They didn't even cleanse their bodies. They just stopped using toxins in their household. So they changed out a lot of their, everything in the kitchen that was plastic, and a lot of their like personal products. and it was like 6 couples, and like 4 of them were pregnant within 3 months. Within 3 months. So our bodies will get rid of things, on their own, but let's support them, right? Like tons of hydration, 3 liters of water a day for a little while you're doing, and then, 1.5 liters to 2 liters, like in the winter and stuff. And then looking at filling our bodies with all the things that are going to help push those things out, and with giving it nutrients. So putting minerals in your water. I use trace minerals in my water, or you can even just squeeze a lime or a lemon. Lemons are better if you have access to lemons. Bone broth, if you want to go there. Vegan protein with amino acids, but make sure there's no heavy metals in it. You can order just even like pea protein or things like that. Tons of amino acids are helpful. And then detoxing. You could do like an herbal detox if you have an herbalist near you, and just talk to them about that. There's a lot of resources online for herbalism that I've been finding available in the US as well. Or a fast, a 3-day water fast. I'm reading a book on that. I'll do another episode on fasting, because women should time fasting with the right time of the month to support their hormones versus, because there's sometimes when you don't want to fast. So I'll do once I finish this book, I'll do another episode on that. But yeah, so like remove the toxins from our bodies, help flush them out. And I think, we got to start figuring out, like, again, the things that keep coming up are heavy periods, fatigue, irritation, anxiety, depression, hair loss, and then of course gut issues and things like that. But like first steps are just like we're being provided all of these toxins for our bodies, the processed foods, the extra sugars. And we've really got to start looking at what we're putting in our bodies and on our bodies, and make some choices about what of those things are supportive and natural and come from the earth. So yeah, that's my PSA for today. I hope that some of those things were helpful, as far as just like things to start looking at to remove from your body, and then how to support flushing them out. Track your symptoms. I have an episode with a worksheet so you can track your symptoms, and you can write in there things that you how you're feeling right now, and then also things that you change. So when you start getting fragrance-free, heavy metals-free laundry detergent, and new shampoo, and start using coconut oil as a lotion instead of the lotion from the store, excuse me, you can track all that stuff and see how it aligns with your symptoms and how you feel. Okay, so let's go. We're gonna do this together. You can always email me if you want, if there's something specific that you want me to talk about. unstuckwithsamparvin@gmail.com. And we're gonna figure this out together. My next steps are, I'm really hydrating myself. It's hot right now. I'm really hydrating, and I'm also looking into minerals and mineral balancing, which I will do a future episode on once I get some test results and stuff back. But those are kind of real things that I'm looking at in my life right now. And let's be well.